Hello and welcome to the National Debate, viewers. The focus is once again on the Places of Worship Act following the recent pleas seeking surveys in Sambhal and Ajmer. In the Shahi Jama Masjid in Sambhal case, the Supreme Court of India has made its stance clear. It has directed the Masjid Committee to approach the Allahabad High Court with its petition seeking a stay on the Jama Masjid survey. While refraining from commenting on the merits of the case, the Supreme Court has paused the trial court proceedings until the High Court issues further directions. The Apex Court has neither quashed the petition nor junked the survey conducted. On the other hand, a petition has been filed in a local court in Rajasthan's Ajmer claiming that Ajmer Dargah is actually a Shiva temple. The court has now issued notices to the Archaeological Survey of India, Ajmer Dargah Committee and the Ministry of Minority Affairs. However, the masjid side is citing the Dargah Khwaja Sahib Committee report from 1950, which says that the Ajmer Dargah was a temporary structure till 1458 and was then converted to a permanent structure later that year. Naturally, there's a massive political war of words over these claims as well. The question we're asking today's viewers, how much of these claims being made by either side are true, and how will the Places of Worship Act affect these cases?
ये लोअर कोर्ट इस देश में आग लगवा देंगे, बता रहे हैं आप। और सत्ता में रहने के लिए कुछ लोग इस देश को जला दें और जलाने के बाद राष्ट्र पर भी शासन करें, उससे भी प्रसन्न रहेंगे। जनता कोई नहीं चाहती, जनता सिर्फ शांति चाहती है, चाहे हिंदू हो, चाहे मुसलमान हो, चाहे सिख हो, चाहे ईसाई।
पूरे देश में आग लगाने की बातें हो रही हैं, क्या हो क्या रहा है देश में, प्रधानमंत्री जी को भी देखना चाहिए। और मैं चाहता हूं कि माननीय सुप्रीम कोर्ट स्वयं संज्ञान ले, देश के अंदर हो क्या रहा है। एक पूरी कम्युनिटी को आप कहां ले लगाना चाहते हो, किस साइड लाइन में लगाना चाहते हो। आप उनके धार्मिक स्थल नहीं छोड़ रहे, आप उनकी प्रॉपर्टीज के ऊपर आप नहीं छोड़ना चाहते।
आखिर क्यों इतनी नफरत पैदा कर दिए बीजेपी आरएसएस वाले मस्जिद दरगाहों के ताल्लुक से? प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी खुद चादर भिजाते हैं। अब बताइए उस पर क्या बोलेंगे वो। लोअर कोर्ट आखिर प्लेस ऑफ वर्शिप एक्ट को क्यों नहीं सुन रही है? जो सियासत नरेंद्र मोदी और आरएसएस कर रही है, उससे देश कमजोर हो रहा है।
All right, let's take this across to our guest now. Joining us is Shehzad Poolawala, national spokesperson of the BJP. We also have with us Sushil Pandey, the activist. With us is A.K. Vajpayee, advocate of the Supreme Court and spokesperson of the LJPR. We have advocate Kapil Madan joining us here in the studio. Vivek Sailas is national spokesperson of Samajwadi Party. Haji Rangrez is spokesperson of the AIMM. Vivek Srivastav, of course, continues with us. He's a political analyst as well. Let me take you across the first talking point that we have. Apart from the legal battle that's going on, this is what has been stated by the ASI, and this is something that they've submitted on the 28th of November. The first charge that they face is that they face difficulties in taking up inspection at the monument. This is charge number one. Charge number two is that there's objection to ASI team from carrying out the inspection ostensibly by locals present over there. The third charge is that ASI officials prevented from entering the monument as well. Charge number 4 by the ASI is that inspection possible with the help only of the district administration. The fifth charge that has been stated by the ASI is that the Masjid Committee carried out various modifications to that structure. Charge number 6 by them is that there was difficult to ascertain the violations under the 1958 Monuments Act. This is what has been submitted by the ASI at the lower court, where in fact now the proceedings have been stayed. But of course, this can further be taken up as far as the higher courts are concerned. Let me start first and foremost with our panelists over here. Vivek Sailas, question to you. These are the claims that are being made by the ASI in the courts. We have seen what the Supreme Court has said. They have said that the Allahabad High Court must look into this, but they have neither stayed the survey, nor have they actually said that what has happened so far legally, there was anything illegal as far as the survey itself is concerned. Your party has been objecting to the survey itself. Now with the Supreme Court's order, somewhere or the other, are we saying that the entire judicial proceeding, which saw so many violent protests, that perhaps there was something wrong in that?
Yeah, I think what the Supreme Court has done, I think it's very good for the peace of especially Uttar Pradesh. What was happening, we saw in Sambhal, and just before that we saw what was happening in Bahraich. If you see, even then the Samajwadi Party was blamed. It was the Samajwadi Party who was creating the riots in Bahraich. But finally what came out? It came out that the Bharatiya Janata Party MLA had to say that no, it was not the Samajwadi Party. It was the activists of the Bharatiya Janata Party and the district president of Vikas Srivastava of the Bharatiya Janata Party who were behind it. So just to blame the Samajwadi Party for everything is not good. I think as far as the writers are concerned, the Samajwadi Party doesn't stand with any of the writers, we abide by law, and law is a state subject of the Yogi Adityanath ji.
Ram Gopal ji saying कि आग तो लगेगी, पत्थर तो फेंके जाएंगे. These kind of statements are coming. Lower court इस देश में आग लगा देंगे. These kind of statements are also, many would say, quite inflammatory, Mr. Silas.
No, yes, partially agree with you, but I think as far as the survey was concerned, it could have been done even more amicably. A committee would have been formed and locals would have taken into confidence. I think nothing of this sort could have happened. At the end of the day, it's the failure of the Bharatiya Janata Party, because they have to maintain the law and order of the state. And five youths have died. So ultimately the responsibility and the answer has to be given by the Bharatiya Janata Party.
Responsibilities of the state government, Shehzad Poonawalla. The Bharatiya Janata Party could have ensured, the district administration could have ensured that this happens in a far more cordial atmosphere. That's the charge coming from Vivek Silas.
First of all, the only question that needs to be answered is that those people who roam around with the Samvidhan, do they believe in the Samvidhan? The Samvidhanik Vyavastha, the court Vyavastha, ordered a survey. On 19th, the first leg of the survey took place. Nothing untoward happened. Then a second leg was planned, and that happened after an event that took place on 23rd. You know what event took place on 23rd? Samajwadi Party lost 7 out of the 9 seats it contested. And therefore, immediately on the 24th, we saw the kind of atmosphere that took place, and it was a complete danga that was done by one side. And now Mr. Vivek Silas has said he partially agrees with you that these statements should not have been made by Ram Gopal Yadav. Ram Gopal Yadav not only said that lower court aag laga denge, thereby saying that he has no faith in the constitution, he in fact justified stone pelting, and I will give you the proof of it. When the Patrakar asked him कि पत्थरबाजी हुई, ये सही है क्या? सुन लीजिए.
जी सर, आपका एक और बयान आया था कि पुलिस इस तरह की कार्रवाई करेगी तो पत्थरबाजी होती रहेगी. तो अच्छा, जब कोई न्याय नहीं कहीं से मिलेगा तो निराश होकर आदमी क्या करता है?
निराश होकर न्याय नहीं मिलेगा तो आदमी क्या करता है? पत्थरबाजी करता है. भाई, न्याय तो कश्मीरी पंडितों को भी नहीं मिला. ये तलवार लेकर तो नहीं घूम रहे किसी का गला काटने के लिए. ये मानसिकता का विषय है. प्लीज आप अपने समय पर बोलिए ना. मानसिकता का विषय है. हर बार दंगाइयों को बचाना, ताहिर हुसैन से लेकर सारे उत्तर प्रदेश में तो जब इनकी सरकार थी, ये आतंकवादियों को बचाना चाहते थे क्योंकि मुसलमान थे, कोर्ट ने रोक लगाई. नाउ द फाइनल पॉइंट आई वांट टू मेक, बचाना क्या है, छुपाना क्या है? सर्वे हो रही है, सर्वे हो जाने दीजिए. दूध का दूध, पानी का पानी. अभी सुप्रीम कोर्ट को इन्होंने, दे हैव प्रेज्ड द सुप्रीम कोर्ट. सेम सुप्रीम कोर्ट सेड प्लेसेस ऑफ वर्शिप एक्ट पॉइंट 1 does not allow change of character, but it allows the determination of the character.
I'll come to that. Yeah.
Just second point, last point. First of all, Sambhal, this so-called disputed structure, comes under ASI monument. So the POW Act.
I'm going to come into that. We're going to debate that. We're going to get into that. We're going to get into that aspect. We'll debate, in fact, the Places of Worship Act threadbare. But I want you to come in on this, Vivek Silas, because end of the day, the question that's being asked is, look at what's happening over there in Sambhal. Sambhal is a constituency where the member of parliament is from the Samajwadi Party. The local MLA is from the Samajwadi Party. 6 terms continuously that the local MLA has been elected. Is it a coincidence that the MP is one of the accused and the MLA's son is also one of the accused? Both of them are with the Samajwadi Party. They are named in the FIR and they are blamed with the kind of, gathering of the people, mobilization of the crowds, etc., which actually led to this riotous situation.
If you talk about the Samajwadi Party MP or the MLA, if they are involved and their name is in the FIR, who's stopping you? But Shehzad Poonawalla was talking about pattharbaz and stone pelters. अरे ये पार्टी वो है जिसने कश्मीर में 14,000 पत्थरबाजों को मासूम बता के सरकार बना ली. अभी दूसरी सर्वे की बात कर रहे थे कि सर्वे ऐसा है वैसा है. अरे these are the people who call the ASI from Pakistan to do the survey in India. So they have no rights and no face to talk about it. That is what I meant to say. And it is a state-sponsored thing which everyone knows, no matter whatever he speaks.
Because one by one. Very quickly. They have full faith in survey of ASI, no? ज्ञानवापी में तो ASI ने सर्वे करके बता दिया कि what is there on the western wall. एक बार बोल दीजिए कि ज्ञानवापी में जो disputed structure, it's a Hindu structure. ज्ञानवापी, you know what ज्ञानवापी is, right? ज्ञानवापी जो है, जो कि मस्जिद बोलते हैं, सुनिए, ज्ञानवापी जिसको मस्जिद बोलते हैं, जो वेस्टर्न वॉल है उसकी, उसमें माँ श्रृंगार गौरी, गणेश जी, कमल, मकर, ये सब है. ये तो मुस्लिम स्ट्रक्चर नहीं है. ये हिंदू स्ट्रक्चर है। ASI की रिपोर्ट आ गई है इंस्क्रिप्शंस के बारे में। एक बार बोल दीजिए कि हम लोग क्लियर है ये सर्वे के बाद, दिस इज हिंदू स्ट्रक्चर।
It's a sub judice matter.
Okay,
Just one line. Who am I to decide about it? Who am I to decide about it?
One by one, yes.
One line. Madhav, one line.
Yeah.
I am not going to decide what's happening. Vivek, one line. इन्होंने कहा it's a sub judice matter. Then why is the MP of that area saying ये मस्जिद है, थी और रहेगी? Sub judice है ना?
बनारस के MP तो माननीय प्रधानमंत्री।
Many questions. Many questions.
बनारस की ज्ञानवापी की बात कर रहे हैं। वहाँ तो माननीय प्रधानमंत्री।
Bring in other panelists now, please. Kapil Madan, one second, please. 1 second. We cannot have a debate like this. Kapil Madan, question is this. A survey was carried out by the ASI, which I just read out the details. This happens in June 2024. In August, that report is prepared. Later, in fact, the ASI submitted in its affidavit part of that particular report. But why is it that the ASI, which is the custodian of this particular monument, is not being allowed to enter? They say, we required the help of the district administration to even enter this particular monument. Now, what really is going on over there?
So, Madhav, let me tell your viewers about two acts. One is the Places of Worship Act and one is the Archaeological and Monuments Protection Act. Both these acts provides identical sections that prohibits that you cannot change any religious character of any place. Insofar as Places of Worship Act is concerned, it pegs a date that is 15th of August 1947. Insofar as these Monuments Act is concerned, it protects any building which is more than 100 years old. So insofar as this is concerned, I totally agree with you that if there is an order, if there is any violation to any protected structure, that needs to be investigated, and ASI is the correct body to investigate. And if there is an order by the court, then order needs to be followed. There is absolutely no doubts about it. But what is happening here? We all see how ruling dispensation is trying to use and try to give a political color about it, to use this as a tool to create us versus them divide, which is their standard plank on which they do their politics. We saw in 2024 how Honorable Prime Minister used the terms as ghus baitia. I don't know whom he was referring to. He has, and consistently these kind of terminologies have been used to demonize a particular community, which does not take our country forward. My limited point is this.
Okay, let me bring in Sushil Pandit on this point. Sushil Pandit, we'll get into the complexities of the law, but there are questions that are being asked about whether somewhere or the other, if there were 7,000 stones, bricks, etc. found over there, what exactly was the police doing? Because we understand from the advocate commissioner's notice as well that there was due notice given on the 19th and 24th that the surveys are going to happen was very well known. So somewhere has the administration also failed in trying to tackle this situation?
You see, this is something which should be looked into. It's a matter of investigation. What kind of police force do we have for the population density that it needs to protect or survey? But that's besides the point. The issue is that there were stockpiles of stone, there were stockpiles of missiles which had been used to harm the police that had come to protect the survey team. Who does this? Time and again, in UP, incident after incident, you see rooftops stockpiled with these missiles, with these incendiary substances, which are used against law enforcement agencies. Incident after incident, you see the public property and public servants are targeted by riotous mobs in such situations. There is a pattern, and we need to look into that. We can always point a finger at security agencies, as intelligence agencies, as the government, to see as to why not these issues are preempted. Point well taken, not denied at all. But you cannot move the focus away from those who breach the law, who unleash violence, who damage property, who create a riot in which lives are lost, and then say, what was the police doing? This is a facetious argument. Police is there. There are injuries with policemen. People have lost lives. In Delhi riots, it was policemen who lost riots. Initially, there were shots fired at them. You cannot always hang police by the next street pole and then say, what were you doing while you aid and abet rioters? You come and stand in support of these rioters. You rationalize their writing and then say, what was the police doing? This is just not acceptable, especially from the public representatives who claim to do responsible politics.
Jawab dijiye. I want Haji Rangres to respond to that.
Let me just say one thing here, very important, Madhav. If there is a court order needs to be implemented. There is absolutely no dispute. If that order is not being implemented, who is to be held accountable? My question is the opposition responsible for that? Or is the government who is actually in control of the administration that is accountable for that?
No.
To ensuring you are not able to comply. You're not able to comply with the court order.
And then say, what was the government doing?
And you will get an escape. You know, look, he said that. Who said that?
But does the local MP and MLA not have a responsibility, Kapil? Will the local MP and MLA who actually are believed to be, or at least by the police's version, have mobilized crowds, should they not be held accountable?
I am saying arrest them. If there are evidence, arrest them. Why not?
Of course.
Any individual.
And if you arrest them immediately, they say, what is the hurry?
There are two
Where
things,
are the investigations? Where is the evidence?
Madhav, there are two things. One is, as our learned panelists said, that there were, loads of bricks and stones that were mobilized and kept at rooftop. So my question is it not an intelligence failure?
I started out by asking this, but I want to bring in Haji Rangres because Haji Rangres and his party has repeatedly raised this issue कि कहीं ना कहीं पुलिस की ज्यादती थी. अब जैसे investigation सामने आ रहा है Haji Rangres, there might be instances where the police has thrown stones, but ये अगर आप pictures देखें और ये भी बात चली है कि भाई जो देसी कट्टा है या जो कंट्री मेड राइफल है या पिस्टल है वो कैसे पुलिस ने चलाई है, ये चार्ज है. बट पिक्चर्स में देखा जा रहा है क्या किस तौर पे, साफ तौर पे सीसीटीवी कैमरास पे आके मारा जा रहा है, कंट्री मेड राइफल्स से फायर किया जा रहा है. तो कहीं ना कहीं इशू है यहाँ पे. प्रोटेस्टर्स ने भी जिस तरह का वायलेंस में इंडल्ज किया, वो भी गलत है.
जो जमा मस्जिद के जो वहाँ के संभल के जो थे वहाँ के सदर साहब, उन्होंने बाकायदा, वो सर्वे में भी थे, उन्होंने बाकायदा बताया पुलिस खुद वहाँ पर जो है अवैध हथियार रख के जो है गोलियां चला रही थी. और जो लोग 5 बच्चे मारे गए हैं उन्होंने बाकायदा प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस करके बताई ये बात.
अब एक हफ्ता हो गया, वीडियो है इसकी, कुछ सामने आई है बात,
देखिए
प्रूफ है. वन बाय वन
सुनिए,
कौन कह रहे हैं? हाँ
देखिए, वीडियो की बात तो है कि ये वाली कि वीडियो तो जो सरकार है, जो वहाँ के जो अनुज जो वहाँ के सीईओ हैं और जो एसडीएम है, वो साजिश करता है इस पूरे दंगे के, और सरकार प्रायोजित ये दंगा था. जिस तरीके से वहां पर पत्थर आए, अभी तक आप ये तो दिखा रहे हैं, छतों पे दिखाइए कहाँ है वीडियो आपके पास जहां पत्थर थे, कहां से आए इतने सारे पत्थर? तो ये भी एक बात है.
तो कौन लेकर आया?
मैं एक और डिमांड कर रहा हूं कि 3 दिन पहले और 3 दिन बाद दंगे के अगर आप उन अधिकारियों की उनके व्हाट्सएप चेक कर लिया जाए, उनकी कॉल रिकॉर्डिंग निकाल ली जाए, तो पता लग जाएगा कि दूध का दूध और पानी का पानी ये किसने करवाया दंगा. और जो बीजेपी के जो नेता हैं उन्हीं के भाई हैं अनुज, जो वहां के सीईओ हैं. और ये बार बार आप जो है सर्वे की बात कर रहे थे, तो एएसआई जो है वो तो हिंदुत्व की दासी है, दासी बन के काम कर रही है.
एएसआई को
बिल्कुल, जब प्लेसेस ऑफ वर्शिप एक्ट कहता है कि कोई सर्वे नहीं होगा, कोई बात नहीं चित नहीं होगी, 1947 में जो स्थान जैसे थे वैसे ही रहेंगे. आप क्या जानना चाहते हैं सर्वे के तहत? मैं पूछना चाहता हूँ
वेरी क्विकली एंड देन वी विल गो इनटू द स्पेसिफिक्स ऑफ द प्लेस ऑफ वर्शिप.
माधव, हम सब यहाँ पे इंटेलेक्चुअल लोग खड़े हैं. Sambhal disputed structure, is it covered under the Act of Place of Worship? Yes or no? It is a ASI monument. Section 3, subsection 4, clause 1 says ASI monuments are out of the ambit of POW Act. Please correct him.
Yeah, we'll get into the facts of it. In fact, let me quickly. One second. No. Let's the Place of Worship Act. Gentlemen, please covered. Let's bring up this Place of Worship Act. Section 2 says place of worship means any place of religious worship of any religious denomination. Let's quickly, in fact, look at what the Section 3 says. No person shall convert any place of worship of any religious denomination is what it says. Section 4, the religious character of a place of worship as on 15th August 1947 shall continue to be the same. And let's go on further. The exception, nothing contained in subsection 1 and 2 shall apply to ASI protected monuments. This is where the point of contention comes, Vivek Srivastava, where they say that this is an ASI protected monument. It does not fall under the ambit of POW Act.
It's an important issue. Let me just, so you have told your viewers about a particular section. Let me also quote section 16.
Specific to this. It's specific to this. Exception.
Yes. So if you just, display section 16 of the same act, you will realize in fact that act also protects that you cannot change the character of a place which
Please
is an
read out, please read
archaeological
out section
site,
16.
which is section
Please read out
16.
section
I'll
16.
read it. Yes,
Okay.
I'll read it.
Shehzad, your counter. Yeah, your counter.
Yes.
See,
yes.
because Madhav, you only gave me 10 seconds to respond. The first part of the argument was that this is an ASI structure. Second part was that this is a POW is applicable or prohibits changes. One second, sir. One second. POW Act prohibits you from changing the character, not from determining the character. This Chandrachud and many other courts have already ruled on that you can determine the character. The survey was to determine the character, not to change the character. Why are you getting so? Why is it so?
Let's go one by one.
Yeah, I think this should be said here.
I'll come to you one by one. Yes.
Also, I think this should be said very clearly. Places of Worship Act is a fraud on our constitution. It is unconstitutional. No matter can be kept out of judicial review. No matter whatsoever can be kept out of judicial review, especially if it is the grievance of a large section of population.
judicial review because the
Judicial review
No, one second.
And we have a legitimate right to agitate against this law and force our parliament, force our leaders.
No. Don't spread hate over here.
This is this law is unconstitutional.
He said that there's a, one second. He said there's a section 16 which covers this.
Yeah.
There is no section 16 in this act.
Which is the section?
Please
I'll read it. I'll read it. क्या हो गया? Ancient monuments. Let me just say once again. Ancient monuments and archaeological sites and remains.
One second.
Just a minute.
Place of worship act.
I never said places of worship act. I never said that.
I've read a place of worship act. Section 16.
I am referring to ancient monuments.
Come on, please. Let's you have to be. When you're arguing like this, you have to be strong on facts. Let's be strong on facts, please. Let's be strong on facts.
No, I said
You're reading some other act.
I very clearly said
one by one.
ASI derives under power not under the Places of Worship Act but under Ancient Monuments and Archaeological Sites Act.
Okay.
ASI does not get power under the Places of Worship Act.
The power of ASI.
It is the power. Allow me to now read section 16. Allow me to now read.
Which act? Please clarify which is the act for our viewers.
Ancient monuments.
Because you end up confusing all our viewers. Half the panel is also confused.
Ancient Monuments and Archaeological Sites and Remains Act 1958. You please read. Shehzad has also referred to this act and has said that it is a protected site, which it's an Asian. No, you said it. No, it's a protected. You said. And if you read section 16 of the same act, I can read it for the benefit of our viewers. It also protects. It also says that you cannot change the character.
We have the law. We have the law before us. But let me ask a question to Vivek Srivastava. Vivek Srivastava, the Chief Justice of India. One second.
Establish the character.
One second. So, yes, if the Supreme Court, what it lays down is the law of the land.
Yes.
If the Chief Justice of India has said there is nothing wrong with establishing the religious character of a place of worship, then how can anybody object to this?
Number one,
simple question.
the Chief
Answer
Justice of
legally.
India has not said Places of Worship Act is not applicable. Has he said it? Where is it?
What logic is this?
What
logic is this, Vivek?
What does it mean? Because Places of Worship Act. What does it mean? Because both the things are linked together, Madhav.
Sir, this is the Supreme Court of India saying very clearly. You want me to read out the code?
No. I'll tell you what it has said.
Are you aware of it or not?
You are interpreting it wrongly.
What is the wrong? What is wrong? What is the wrong interpretation?
I'll tell you what. Places of Worship Act, what was the cause that Places of Worship Act came into picture? What was the cause? The cause was...
Sir, what is the case before the Supreme Court? It was before the Gyanvapi survey? It was before the Gyanvapi survey? The court allowed that survey? Yes or no? Yes or no?
Places of
the court allowed that survey, sir. You're short on facts right now.
No, I'm not short on facts.
Let me get it. You're completely short on facts.
Chief Justice of India has not said it.
Mr. Vajpayee, please respond. Please respond, Mr. Vajpayee.
Let me answer. Kindly see, in the entire Worship Act, there is no definition of the religious character. So that's why we are determining that. And that is permissible.
No.
Please
Sorry.
understand.
Wrong interpretation and hate bombing. Wrong interpretation.
Please,
let me please clarify, Madhav. I am not getting time.
Ready to listen.
Madhav, I am not getting time and you are putting words into my mouth. And I have objections. I am not going to speak what you want me to speak.
The points that
Can I speak?
Because please
you are not letting me speak.
Speak to the point that you are
I will
asked to.
speak, but I am not going to speak what you want me to speak.
Then don't participate in the debate. I'm asking everyone sticking to the points. Only you are being indisciplined. And if you are indisciplined, you can leave
I
the
am
studio.
not indisciplined.
No, there is absolutely no need to do this. this. I am asking you specific points, and please respond to those points. These are points of discussion of points of law.
I'll leave your debate.
No, it is your call. It is entirely your call. Entirely your call.
If you don't want to listen
to points of view, he is a lawyer. He is talking about the law of the land. Answer him on points of law. Answer him on points of law. You have points of law.
You are not giving me time.
Answer him on the point of law. 30 seconds. Answer him on the point of law. 30 seconds. Answer him on the point of law.
I'll speak it, but don't try to put your words in my mouth. I'm not here to forward on the agenda of these people.
You are not, but this is a point of debate. I am moderating it. If you don't want to listen, participate, you are welcome.
You give me 30
seconds.
seconds.
Respond to it in 30 seconds. Respond now.
Okay. Now I'll speak, and please don't interfere. It is very clear why the Places of Worship Act came in the first place. It came because in this country there are a lot of complexities. कोई कह रहा है मंदिर तोड़ के मस्जिद बना, कोई कह रहा है मस्जिद तोड़ के मंदिर बना, so on and so forth. So we decided in this nation that to maintain the communal harmony of this country, let us stop once and for all. And keeping Ayodhya and a few others on one side, we said, jo jaisa hai, bana rahe. This is the Places of Worship Act and the intent. And the Chief Justice to whom you have quoted has not said कि आप उसको साइड में रखिए और जा करके take a कुल्हाड़ी, start digging out every masjid, including now the risk that you have filed. Listen to me. And digging out Ajmer Sharif and creating complete disturbances.
30 seconds over. Now, was there a survey carried out in Gyanvapi or not?
Yes. Yes.
Whose basis was that survey carried out?
But we have objected to it.
Answer my question.
Yeah.
I'm on a simple point of fact.
Yes. Yes.
Did the Supreme Court not clear that survey or not?
Yes, but that doesn't mean it applies everywhere and all around.
This is a simple question of precedents. That's the simple question. There's a concept of precedents in law which you are completely being ignorant of.
No, in that case,
Mr. Vajpayee. Okay, Mr. Vajpayee. Let him respond.
Only 10 seconds.
No. Supreme Court order's finding is binding on all.
Are you trying to tell me that Places of Worship Act is null and void?
No, I'm not, but it is not.
That is what you are trying to say.
No, kindly understand.
Okay.
Why are you twisting? You understand everything, but you want to twist it.
But I want to. Vivek has tried to make a larger point, which I think needs to be addressed. There's no problem in that. Maybe on this particular point, legally is not sound, but let me address the larger point Vivek is making. Vivek is saying that, look, the intent of this law was that whatever places were places of worship at 1947, 15th August, they remain the same, so that there are no communal conflicts.
Absolutely.
Right, sir?
Yes.
Now, sir, may I ask you very humbly, hands folded?
Yes.
If I am Waqf, मैंने इधर रुमाल डाला वो जमीन मेरा, उधर रुमाल डाला वो जमीन मेरा, 1500 साल पुराना मंदिर मेरा, वो ठीक है in the name of secularism.
Right.
But if somebody is saying, the courts are saying, determine the character.
Okay.
Nobody went with a shovel to go and change the character. Okay. In Sambhal or in Gyanvapi, by the way.
Okay.
One second, let me complete. So, now my limited question is, if the courts have said that survey karne do, determine the character. If you feel legally this is not right as per the law, go to the court. Why are you encouraging rioters?
Nobody is encouraging rioters. I'll respond. I'll respond to you. Okay.
One Vivek has to answer for other.
No, absolutely. I endorse what Ram Gopal Yadav has said, because he has said it with a different intention. In this country, to maintain the peace, let me speak, let me complete. To maintain the peace of the nation,
so these judges are not
to make sure that we don't have criminals, to make sure we don't have Naxalites, to make sure we don't have Islamic terrorists, to make sure the minorities do not feel it is not their nation, you need to take steps. If you start taking a shovel in the name of Jai Shri Ram, and start going to every dargah, every masjid, and trying to get surveys done, and then you come on the national TV and say, Saab Chief Justice ne bola hai, survey ho sakta hai religious order ko maintain kariye.
Vivek Srivastava, 19th was when the first survey was to happen. 4 days later or 5 days later, they do the second survey. There was enough time to approach the Allahabad High Court against the lower court's order.
Yes.
Why was that not done? Please tell me.
No, I'm asking you a different question. I'm asking you another question. No,
I'm asking you.
No.
This is not correct.
No.
You have to answer the point.
I'm saying,
there are tough questions I will ask you also. No, nobody is being spared from tough questions, Mr. Srivastava, but questions have to be asked.
Yes.
And I will ask Mr. Sushil Pandit this. Mr. Pandit, the RSS chief, the prominent figure like him, he has discouraged looking for temples under every mosque. At the end of the day, there is certain judgments that have come. Don't we have to work towards building trust rather than going on looking for mosque or temples under mosque, literally? Okay. If you go by what Mr. Bhagwat has said.
Very good question, Madhav. I would like to say just one sentence in Hindi. खुदा से इतना खौफ नहीं है जितना खुदाई से है. आप सच से इतना घबराते क्यों हैं? आप सच देखने पर इतने एलर्जिक क्यों हैं? क्यों पर्दा डालना? Why do you want to cover the truth? Why don't you want the truth to come out? Now, it is not our argument that demolish all mosques, build temples everywhere. All that is being said is, please look at these structures, the historicity of it, the period in which they were raised, what was there beneath. Even you should know, if these are very important structures for you, it should raise even curiosity in your minds. Who made them? When were they made? What was there before?
That curiosity will burn the nation.
Just a moment.
Your curiosity will burn the nation.
Because you know.
That is the problem.
Because you know how they were raised.
Yes.
Because you know where they were raised.
It was Dalits
because
versus
you know what you did to them.
No, it was the Dalits versus the Savarnas. Do not drag Islam into everything.
You are scared of the facts.
I am not scared. I just want this country to go big.
Okay.
You want the country to break.
Number two,
number two,
you asked me the specific question about the Sarsang Chalak.
Madhav, can I say something here?
I want you to answer the question. I want you to answer the question I asked him, and there is no response.
Let me.
Babar was a Dalit.
Just a minute.
Now, Babar was a Dalit who was demolishing the Sambhal Masjid.
Let's talk about it. I want you to answer this question. I want you to answer this question.
Our viewers will get value if we, debate in a civilized manner.
Yes, Kapil, my question is simple.
Let me just respond to what.
My simple question to you.
Let me answer the original question.
I heard Mr. Pandit. Allow me to answer it.
So, with utmost respect and humility, Sarsang Chalak ji said this in the context of Gyanvapi Mosque survey where a shivling was found. Sorry, not mosque. Gyanvapi survey where a shivling was found. I'm afraid this was wrong time and wrong statement to make. He does not, though he is one of the most respected leaders of one of the most revered organizations in this country, yet he does not speak on every matter on behalf of all the Hindus. There is a large number of Hindus who do not agree with him on this issue.
Be selective.
There are... No.
Be selective.
Okay.
What suits you? The RSS chief is the best. When it doesn't suit you, he is not speaking for the Hindus.
Yes.
Okay.
When he is talking sensibly for a change, you should support him.
Okay.
For us, nobody is a god.
Let me come back to the point.
100%
Let me
right
come back to the point.
Nobody is true always.
Allow me, sir. Allow me, sir. I want Kapil to come in.
Jihadi ideology. Hindus don't believe in such ideology.
You are not a representative of the Hindus. No. One second. Let's not do this.
I am not.
Simple question.
Therefore, I am entitled
simple
to
question. You are a lawyer.
All Hindus are entitled to
Mr. Pandit, please. Kapil, simple question. If the Chief Justice has laid down the law of the land, fine, that's in a specific context of Gyanvapi. But if he says that there is nothing in Place of Worship Act that prevents anyone from determining the religious character, how is it going to be done? So, Madhav, is the survey not the only option?
No, Madhav, I was going exactly to explain this issue. Shehzad is right when he says that Justice D.Y. Chandrachud has said that it is the conversion of the religious place that is barred under the Places of Worship Act, but determination is not barred. Determination can happen. This is an admitted position, and let's not dispute it, because that's a judicial order and we should all respect what has been said by the judiciary. But having said that, let me just say one thing here. Ultimately, you are trying to determine the character of a place in a dispute. So there is a dispute between two litigants are fighting, and in that situation you want to determine what is the character of the place, and ultimately it is only the determination that can happen, but you cannot change the character of that place. So in the context of Gyanvapi, what are the prayers which have been sought in Gyanvapi by the litigants are that they are saying that in a at a particular place around that compound, they are claiming that they should be allowed to pray at that particular place. That's the bottom of the controversy in the Gyanvapi case. My only limited point here is that even if you have determined that what exactly is the religious character of that place, but you cannot do anything beyond that, then why to stir up this controversy?
But this exception comes in. I will answer. I'm asking a question. Let me just asking legal side of it. Let the legal side of it and allow me to now give a political side of it. Got your answer. I'm asking a simple question. I'm just quoting from what D.Y. Chandrachud has said in the Ayodhya verdict. And this is what he says. The court cannot entertain claims that stem from the action of Mughal rulers against Hindu places of worship in a court of law today. Any person who seeks solace or recourse against the actions of any number of ancient rulers, the law is not the answer. This is what he said, upholding Place of Worship Act.
Now, can I please come in on both these aspects, starting from yours? Absolutely. Nobody is saying that this is a form of retributive justice of sorts against something that the Mughals said. But the only point that is trying to be made is that what is the truth or reality should be ascertained. These are all people who say that let the truth come out, conciliation must happen, dialogue must happen. So if a historical wrong has been done, for instance, I'm just diverting 10 seconds. why do we have caste-based reservations? Because a caste-based system that was perpetrated on a section of society is a historical wrong. We admit that, right? So we accept and therefore we get the solution only if we acknowledge what happened. So therefore the solution may not be conversion of the worship place, but let's accept the fault. If you're not ready to accept only that something has been done and you're glorifying the Mughals. Point two. Now couple specific example. He said कि देखो determine कर लो, उसका change नहीं कर सकते. बिल्कुल sir, पर आपको पता है ये बात. In the Gyanvapi case, till 1993, my Hindu brethren were doing the puja. It was stopped by Mulayam Singh Yadav government. And if at 1993 they were doing it, they are very well entitled to do it when the determination happens that indeed it is a Hindu structure. No power in the universe can take that power away.
Both in the Gyanvapi case and even now in the Sambhal case, the charge coming in from the BJP is this. And of course, it's well recorded in the case of Gyanvapi. It's before the courts. We have seen all the petitioners. In the case of Sambhal, again, there is this charge coming. You would have seen the tweet of Shalabh Mani Tripathi that until 2012 or before that, there were marriages, there were all sorts of Hindu worship happening at what they are calling the Harihar temple and of course is now called the Jama Masjid Mosque. Your response, Vivek Silas, because both times is the SP government that's being held in the dock by the BJP.
No, it's the habit of the Bharatiya Janata Party to, to go back in history or to go back and blame the opposition or the previous governments. There's no doubt about it. We see in the central government also or...
no, but did your government stop it, yes or no?
Huh?
Did your government stop this worship on the side of Hindus, yes or no? What is your stand as Samajwadi Party?
No, I am not aware of that. If I am not aware of that, I cannot comment on that.
In Gyanvapi case is out there in the public domain for some time.
It is definitely in public domain and as I earlier said that it's sub judice. Let the final verdict come out, then we'll abide by that. Everyone will abide by that.
One second. We are here on certain facts which are incontrovertible. And one of those incontrovertible facts is that the puja did happen till 1992-93 and then it was locked up. There is proof and evidence to this. So Vivek Silas, and I agree that Vivek Silas may not know every detail of every case, but Vivek Silas, taking this fact on board, now I'm asking you, as a person who practices his own religion, somebody's religious right is at stake. Because you want to play appeasement politics, you don't give somebody that religious right.
And you want to right to vote.
Okay,
Muslims can do whatever they want on the streets, but the Hindu can't pray at his own side. No. What is the skewed logic? Mosque can claim anything, but I can't go to civil court. ये कैसा logic है आप लोगों का? बता देता हूँ. One as a Muslim I'm saying.
Don't misquote.
तुम लोगों ने बर्बाद कर दिया. Nehruvian secularism is the biggest disease in this country. Biggest disease.
No one can be stopped of praying or following the religion. That's what the constitution says, as far as I know. So if a religious activity was held wherever it is in the entire country, it cannot be stopped.
The allegation is that through the DM it was stopped.
Allegations are all...
Ajmer Dargah, इस पे आप क्या कहेंगे? क्योंकि इनका कहना है कि जो religious character है place का, उसको चेंज किया गया है लगातार सरकारों ने अपने अपीजमेंट पॉलिटिक्स को, अपने वोट बैंक्स को अपीज करने के लिए बार-बार ये हुआ है.
माधव जी, जिस दोनों जगह से ज्ञानवापी में हुआ कि हमारा जो है वजू खाना और नीचे का तय खाना, ये कह रहे हैं कि सर्वे से क्या होगा, सर्वे से क्या चीज हो जाएगी. हम दोनों चीज खो चुके अपनी, एक हम अपनी मस्जिद खो चुके. तो ये इस तरीके से लगातार आप जो है हमारी मस्जिदों में अपने भगवान को तलाशने की कोशिश जो हो रही है. और मोहन भागवत जी ने भी ये बात कही थी, ये क्यों नहीं मानते उनकी बात? अगर वो सही ये बात सही कह रहे हैं तो ये मना करते हैं उस बात को कि नहीं हम नहीं मानते उनकी बात को, वो गलत आदमी है. वैसे उनकी हर चीज को ये जो मानेंगे और उनकी शाखाओं में भी जाएंगे और वहां पर सारी चीजें भी सीखेंगे, उन्हीं के एजेंडे के तहत ये काम करते हैं. तो इस तरीके से हमारे मुसलमान भाइयों को बार बार निशाना बनाया जा रहा. जिस तरीके से हमारी वक्फ को लेकर एक बिल बनाया जा रहा है सरकार की तरफ से, जिस तरीके से मस्जिदों को टारगेट किया जा रहा. अब जो है अजमेर जो कि 800 साल से वहां पे दरगाह है और हमारे मोदी जी वहां पर भी चादर भेजते हैं, नेहरू जी भी चादर भेजते थे. माधव जी मैं कहता हूं कि मोदी जी का जो घर है वो उस घर के नीचे मस्जिद है. मैं कहता हूं जहां पे टाइम सुनो का दफ्तर है इसके नीचे मस्जिद है. क्या मेरी अपील सुनवाई होगी? नहीं होगी. मगर जब संभल में क्या हुआ, संभल में एक ही दिन में याचिका लगती है 19 तारीख को, उसी दिन सुनवाई हो जाती है, उसी दिन सर्वे के ऑर्डर हो जाते हैं और उसी दिन रात को सर्वे हो जाता है. तो ये अगर अदालतें जहां 80 साल 50 साल 60 साल से पेंडिंग केसेस हैं वहां पर एक दिन में क्या हो रहा? अपील क्यों नहीं? इस तरीके का माहौल बने मुद्दों से
अपील क्यों नहीं किया गया? हाजी रंगरेज जी, सब सिंपल सवाल है. अगर लोअर कोर्ट ने कोई गलत फैसला दिया सबको अधिकार है, मस्जिद कमेटी के पास तो रिसोर्सेज है, जा सकती है हाई कोर्ट में अपील में।
आपने मौका कहां दिया? एक ही दिन में फैसला दे दिया, एक ही दिन में सर्वे करवा दिया। अरे सर मौका तो देते, दो चार मतलब सर्वे की टीम तैयार बैठी थी। ये देखिए ना, ये सहयोग नहीं, ये प्रयोग है सर, ये प्रयोग है।
मैं दोनों पॉइंट पे जवाब देता हूँ। फर्स्ट ये लास्ट वाले पॉइंट पे जवाब देता हूँ। पहले तो 19 को पहला राउंड हुआ, कुछ नहीं हुआ। 24 को सेकंड राउंड हुआ। आप लोग तो मिडनाइट पहुंच जाते याकूब मेमन की पैरवी करने सुप्रीम कोर्ट। हाँ, तो आपके पास तो सारे कपिल सिब्बल ने तो कपिल मदान ही सही, उसके साथ ही चले जाते आप। दूसरी बात देखिए, उन्होंने क्या बोला, इन्होंने अच्छी बात बोली। उन्होंने बोला कि मोहन भागवत जी ने बोला है कि हर जगह शिवलिंग ढूंढते नहीं घूमना है। बिल्कुल बढ़िया। उन्होंने बोला पीएम के घर के नीचे मस्जिद है, मैं बोलूंगा। मान्यवर, आपके तो जमात के लोगों ने बोला है पार्लियामेंट ही वक्फ है। ये आपकी जमात से आ चुका है।
किसने बोला?
मौलाना वो कौन है यूडीएफ के बदरुद्दीन।
आपके नेता क्या क्या बोलते हैं? आपके नेता क्या क्या बोलते हैं? अरे आपके नेता क्या क्या बोल रहे हैं?
भूल गए। अरे सुन लीजिए, पूरी बात सुन लीजिए, पूरी बात सुन लीजिए।
कहाँ बोला? किसने बोला है?
मौलाना बदरुद्दीन
किसने बोला? किसने नहीं बोला? बोला है। अरे मुस्लिम पर्सनल लॉ बोर्ड ने बोला।
करने दो, लेट्स मी कंप्लीट एटलीस्ट।
मेंबर ऑफ पार्लियामेंट है, सीनियर
अब नहीं है वो।
10 सेकंड्स मोर। मैं केवल इतना कह रहा हूं कि आपको जैसे पिंच होता है ना, ये तो कौन है, ये तो बेचारे हिंदू सिविल कोर्ट जा रहे हैं, आपको पिंच हो रहा है। आपके यहां तो रुमाल रखा, वक्फ के ट्राइब्यूनल में जाओ। तो आप एक पैरवी करो कि जो भी हिंदू मुस्लिम मसला है सिविल कोर्ट जाए।
बिल्कुल,
आप एक बार पैरवी करो।
देखो जिस तरीके से शायद भाई मुद्दों को इधर ले जा रहे हैं, आप बताइए
सिविल कोर्ट में।
अच्छा ये बताइए वक्फ सेंट्रल किसके अंडर में आता है? और ट्रिब्यूनल और राज्यों के जो वक्फ बोर्ड हैं वो किसके अंतर्गत आते हैं? जहां जहां आपकी सरकार है, तो इसका मतलब तो है आप जान के करवा रहे हैं। वक्फ सेंट्रल में कौन लोग हैं? सारे केंद्र सरकार के लोग हैं। जो स्टेट वक्फ बोर्ड है उसमें जो है उसके लोकल जो वहां के नेता है वो है, और एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन के लोग हैं। तो इस तरीके से ये बनाते हैं कि मुसलमान कह देगा मैंने भी यहाँ नमाज पढ़ ली तो मैं कह दूंगा मेरी हो जाएगी। अरे भाई डॉक्यूमेंट दिखाना पड़ेगा भाई, डॉक्यूमेंट दिखाना पड़ेगा, अदालत में जाना पड़ेगा, क्रिमिनल में जा सकते हैं आप, हाई कोर्ट जा सकते हैं आप, सुप्रीम कोर्ट जा सकते हैं। मगर ये कहते हैं कि मुसलमान ने दावा कर दिया।
Practical experience. Is that a practical experience?
I am on entirely different issue. Who brought this act? Ask them who brought this act. Narasimha Rao was the Prime Minister. Why defective act? What was their intention? If there is a vacuum, every citizen has a right to go to the court. Can they stop it? Civil suit is filed. You oppose it. Order 7, Rule 11, CPC is there. There are grounds. Suit can be dismissed on the same day, within no time. If the court is not sufficiently stamped, if there is no cause of action, and if the suit is barred by any other law, why did you not raise? And you have rightly pointed out, you could have gone to the High Court. Why did you not go to the High Court?
But I must ask this question. Why is the centre not made a stand here yet on Place of Worship Act? Why is the centre still not given a clear position?
That their defect, I say. Why there is no definition about the religious character? That is a vacuum. So I blame themselves. They want to create certain difficulties for the society.
Shehzad Purewala, what is the centre's position of Place of Worship Act? It's very well to challenge them for the Congress for bringing it in. Why not counter it if you feel that it is such a wrong act?
First of all, this matter has been sub judice. This Place of Worship Act has been before the courts for some time now. As far as our position as BJP on Place of Worship Act, it was well known the day they brought the bill to Parliament. We have opposed it because Parliament never had the legislative competence to make such an act.
Okay.
So our position is very clear. Having said that, when you are in government and the matter is in courts, you cannot arbitrarily do things which are against the judicial system.
All right.
So we will wait for the judiciary to
So
play
we'll wait for the judiciary.
The judiciary is not waiting for us.
We will all as citizens who believe in the law. Gentlemen, we are at the end of 10 seconds. Quick, 10 seconds. We're over time on this debate.
Let me say only one thing. When the judgment came regarding the AAP and center dispute regarding services, what the center did, they came up with a law which basically overruled the judgment. So
after the judgment,
I think at the end of the day, gentlemen, let me nothing stops you from. Let me thank our panelists, Shehzad Poonawala, Sushil Pandit, AK Vajpayee, Kapil Madan, Vivek Silas, Haji Rangrez, as well as Vivek Srivastava. End of the day, as Citizens of this country who believe in our constitution, who believe in democracy, should we not believe in going through constitutional means of protest, even if we disagree, rather than resorting to violence and violence of any kind by any ideological hue? That's the big question that comes out of what has transpired today. Even if there is a provocation, certainly one can only agree if there are constitution and legal means taken, and not if one takes the law into their own hands. Thanks so much for joining us on the National Debate today.